it's Jennifer from Live, Laugh, Love to Read. Today I'm going to be telling you about the books that I got at Gardner's. A couple of videos back, I did a Gardner's used bookstore tour. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below. And I promised I would read you the synopsis of the books I got. So that's what I'm going to do today. So the first book I got was Safe With Me by Amy Hatvaney. And this one is about Hannah. The screech of tires brought Hannah Scott's world, as she knew it, to a devastating end. A year after she signed the papers to donate her daughter's organs, Hannah is still reeling with grief when she unexpectedly stumbles into the life of the Bell family, whose 15-year-old daughter, Maddie, survived only because Hannah's daughter had died. Mesmerized by this fragile connection to her own daughter and afraid to reveal who she actually is, Hannah develops a surprising friendship with Maddie's mother, Olivia. The Bells, however, have problems of their own. Once on the verge of leaving her wealthy but abusive husband, Olivia now finds herself bound to him in the wake of the transplant that saved their daughter's life. Meanwhile, Maddie, tired of the limits her poor health puts upon her and fearful of her father's increasing rage, regularly escapes into the one place where she can be anyone she wants, the internet. But when she is finally healthy enough to return to school, the real world proves to be just as complicated as the isolated bubble she has been so eager to escape. Ooh, that sounds good. Amy Hatvaney, one of my favorite authors. And another one by Amy Hatvaney, It Happens All the Time. Look at that cover. Isn't that gorgeous? Really pretty. So this one is about Amber. Amber Bryant would never want to relive her high school years. As a teenager, she struggled with self-image and an overwhelming desire to be the perfect only child for her older parents. She found solace and understanding in Tyler Hicks, a neighborhood boy who proved unusually sensitive for his 14 years. As they navigated adolescence together, Amber and Tyler were inseparable, best friends. Now, 25, Tyler has found his calling as a paramedic, much to the chagrin of his overbearing father, who wished his son would follow in his footsteps as a firefighter. Tyler and Amber have grown apart over the years, but when she returns home the summer after her college graduation, they find themselves picking up right where they left off. Except this time, a flirtation begins to blossom between them, and despite the fact that Amber is engaged to her college sweetheart, Tyler lets himself hope that perhaps their friendship could turn into something more. Then, one night, fueled by alcohol and doubts about whether she's getting married too young, Amber kisses Tyler. What happens next will change them both forever. Oh, that sounds good. I think that might go in my TBR pile. STBR, soon to be read. And then I picked up Safe Within by Jean Reynolds Page. I like that cover too. It's kind of summery and kind of like Nantucket or something, which I love books about Nantucket. I actually have read two just recently. I need to do a book review on them. That wrote by Nancy Thayer, which I like too. If I'm in the mood. I have to be in the mood. Yeah. Okay, this one is about Elaine and Carson. Elaine and Carson Forsyth have returned to the treehouse, Elaine's childhood home, a cabin nestled high in the branches of two oaks beside a North Carolina lake, where 49-year-old Carson has chosen to spend the waning days of his life. As Elaine prepares for a future without her beloved husband, their solace is interrupted. Carson's mother, Greta, has set loose a neighbor's herd of alpacas and landed herself in police custody. Oh my goodness. But alpacas are so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay. While Carson remarkably sees humor in the situation, Elaine can only question what her obligations are, and will be, to a woman who hasn't spoken to her in more than 20 years. In the wake of Carson's death, Elaine and their grown son Mick are thrust into the maelstrom of Greta, the mother-in-law and grandmother who never accepted either of them. Just as they are trying to figure out their new roles in the family, Mick uncovers unexpected questions of his own. A long-ago teenage relationship with a local girl may have left him with more than just memories, and he must get to the bottom of Greta's surprising accusation that he's not Carson's son at all. Ooh, that sounds good. Safe Within. And I picked up another one by Jean Reynolds Page called The Last Summer of Her Other Life. And I like that cover too. Oh my gosh, do covers pull you in? They do me. Oh my gosh. All right, from Jean Reynolds Page, the critically acclaimed author of The Space Before and After and one of the most compelling voices in contemporary women's fiction, comes a dazzling novel of loss and redemption, of relationships that damage and those that heal. 39 and pregnant by a man she's decided to leave behind in California, Jules' life is changing. Always the protected daughter, she must now relinquish that role and prepare to be a mother herself. But her efforts are upstaged by shocking allegations from a local teen in her North Carolina hometown. The boy has accused her of what the police are calling inappropriate sexual contact. 3 men rally in her defense. Lincoln, her brother, who flies in from New York to help her. Sam, her high school boyfriend, who after so many years still offers unconditional support. And Walt, the uncle of the teen, who charms Jewel with his intelligence and unanticipated kindness. Her search for the truth about the troubled teenager becomes, for Jules, a first step toward discovering the woman she wishes to be. But with so many wrong choices behind her, how can she trust herself with the future of her unborn child? I thought that sounded good. And then I picked this one up, and I have to say, I mainly picked it because of the cover. I hope it's good. Now and Then Friends by Kate Hewitt. And this one is about Rachel. It says, after her father left, Rachel had to dedicate her life to managing her household, her 2 younger sisters, her disabled mother, and her 3-year-old nephew. When Rachel's not struggling to look after all of them, she makes her living cleaning the houses of wealthy families, including the West home where a surprise now awaits her. A lifetime of drifting in other people's currents has left Claire high and dry. First, it was her parents, then the popular crowd in school, and finally her fiancé. Now she's returned to Hartley by the Sea to recover. But running into Rachel brings back memories of past mistakes, and Claire wonders if she now has the courage to make them right. Soon, Claire's brother Andrew asks Rachel to keep an eye on Claire, which is the last thing either woman wants. But as their lives threaten to fall apart, both Claire and Rachel begin to realize what they need most is a friend. The kind of friend they once were to each other, and perhaps can be again. That sounds good. And look at the cover. Oh my gosh, isn't that pretty? I love it. Love it. Oh, it's pretty. I just love, like, pretty books. I do. Because they're just so pretty. They draw you in and you're like, oh, I love that cover. Like, look at this cover. Yeah, I just love it. So anyway, that was the books I picked up at Gardner's. Let's see if I can get them up there so you can see them all. There we go. And if you like this video, please give me a like and a subscribe. And make sure you check back, because I have more videos coming up. So, my husband and I are going on a cruise in 3 weeks' time, which I've already told you about. But we are going to be doing some travel vlogs, like, of the ship. And we go to Galveston to sell out, to get on the ship. And while we're there, we're going to, I'm probably going to do a little free library tour video. Because what I do when we travel is I look up on their littlefreelibrary.org, look it up on their map, and then I take pictures of the, the addresses, and I'll tell you why. Because their map doesn't work on my phone. I don't know why. It never works on my phone, which is a pain in the hiney. But anyhow, I take pictures of the addresses, and then we go around and I share some books from my little free library, from my overstock. So, yeah, we're going to be doing that pretty soon. So, check back for that. And that's all I have for today. Thanks, friends. I'll see you next time.